to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today is Thursday, which means it is weekend events today here on KTAL News Now, where we look ahead to see what's going on around the area. If you're looking for something to do, you got no plans this weekend, looking for a date night potentially, we got you covered all throughout today's show with several events going on in Shreveport, in East Texas, and just the entire region as a whole. But starting off with an event tonight, which is the Pro Football Holiday Huddle that will be held at Live Casino and Hotel in Bossier City, and specifically Live Casino's Sports and Social near the back. If you've been to Live Casino, you know what I'm talking about. It's the sports section in the back where you have screens across the entire back wall. It's a great place to watch a game, but they will also have the Pro Football Huddle there, and that is tonight from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Live Casino in Bossier. And this event benefits the Salvation Army of Northwest Louisiana, specifically their Angel Tree program, where they are helping children in need this holiday season, getting gifts this year for Christmas and getting to unwrap those gifts for Christmas when they wake up on Christmas morning. But the admission to the event is a new unwrapped toy so that they can donate to the kids and give them, like I said, to help them have a happy Christmas this year. And in turn, you'll get to meet and greet with former NFL players from several teams, including the Dallas Cowboys. For all of our Cowboys fans out there, you get to see former Cowboy players there tonight at Live. And all you have to do is donate a new and unwrapped toy to get in. You get to meet and speak with them. You get to take a picture with them, get their autographs. It's all going towards a great cause, and it delivers a great experience for the fans and the guests as well in turn. And the first 100 people that attend will receive a Holiday Huddle autograph card to collect all of the autographs from the athletes that will be there. And KTAL's Mata Drain got to speak with some of those athletes to hear more about what people can expect at tonight's event.
My name is Byron Williams, former wide receiver for the New York Giants. I'm currently the president of the NFL alumni in the Dallas area, but I always love coming back to Shreveport, Texarkana area. I grew up in Texarkana, but love the Holiday Huddle that we're getting ready to do.
All right, and?
I'm Rose Collins, Booker T. Washington Lion here in Shreveport, also TCU Hall of Famer, and Miami Dolphin Dallas Cowboy, and we come here to do a Holiday Huddle. We love Christmas, so we just want to get back to the kids here in Shreveport.
Okay, now you guys aren't the only ones that are going to be giving back. You're going to be joined by a lot of other NFL players, former players as well. Talk about, why you think it was important to get involved with this initiative.
Well, I think it's important. So firsthand, we grew up in these communities and we can relate to the kids, but basically we want to make the kids happy and joyful for during Christmas season, and giving back is a big part of what we do.
Now there is going to be a special event kicking off today. Talk about that, and what can people do to get involved and help you guys out?
We're always looking for somebody in the community who wants to do what we do, give back. And Live here in Shreveport, Live Casino, they're doing that. And what they asked us to do, we're going to partner together with Live. Going to do a toy drive tonight, starting at 5 o'clock. Come out and watch the Cowboys play. Cowboys beat the Detroit Lions. All right, let's do that first most, and then X will tell you some more about it.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll talk about to X a little bit later on in the show, but I definitely want to thank you guys. And before we leave, we want you to just say, why you are deciding to, of course, just partner together and staying as a community with all of the fellows.
Well, one of the things, we're bringing some Cowboys, players from different teams that played, but it's like a unity, it's a huddle. And once we leave that huddle, we break that huddle and we give out a joy and great gifts to the kids. That's what it's all about.
And you can visit our website for more information about that event, as well as another event that is taking place this Saturday on December 6th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. with the NFL alumni. And they are hosting a toy giveaway at Calvary Baptist Church in Shreveport. That's located on 3939 Pines Road. And they are accepting donations and for the giveaway. And then if you're a child in need, if you have a kid at home and you want to make his Christmas happy, you can go to the toy giveaway on Saturday. Children must be accompanied by a parent or an adult or a guardian, to receive a toy from the athletes, but they are also going to be there to support and help make people's Christmases happy this holiday season. And you can find more information about that, like I said, on our website at ktalnews.com, which is also where we stream this show every single day, Monday through Friday, at 1 p.m. Now, when it comes to anniversaries, there is a huge one coming up, specifically at Centenary College. They are celebrating their bicentennial, and they are concluding their year-long celebration of that event with Spotlight Centenary, and that is taking place this weekend. And KTAL's Mata Drain also spoke with a member of the Board of Trustees at Centenary College to hear more.
Well, Spotlight Centenary is the capstone of our bicentennial event. As you will recall, this is our 200th anniversary for Centenary College. We were founded in 1825 down in Jackson, Louisiana. But we've been pleased to have Centenary in Shreveport since 1908, and this is our 200th year celebration. So Spotlight is a large party to recognize the end of this 200th year anniversary.
Okay, sounds good. So this is definitely a celebratory matter, and I know a lot of people are wondering, hey, is it just for people, you know, who are having ties with Centenary, or may it be, you know, open to the public?
It's open to the public. We invite anyone who has an interest in Centenary College to attend. It's December 6th. At 6 p.m. is the event at the Gold Dome.
All right, let's talk about what the guests can expect.
Well, we have our MC is going to be Mr. Lang, our airtime Lang, our Centenary grad, 1998 grad, Centenary basketball star who's been a Harlem Globetrotter, and we're so glad to have him being our MC for the event. And then we also have the Centenary Choir who'll be performing events along with a DJ, and then we'll have a nice culinary menu and open bar for people over 21.
Okay, sounds like a fun time to me. Well, how do we get those tickets?
We go to centenary200.com, and you can just sign up online, pay online, and you'll be on a guest list. So when you come to the door, you're already pre-approved.
And for more information about Spotlight Centenary, you can visit our website at ktalnews.com. Now, for our Marshall, Texas viewers, you'll know that the Wonderland of Lights officially kicked off last week. They held an opening ceremony where there were several activities and entertainment for guests to enjoy, including holiday performances, ice skating activities, meet and greets with Santa Claus. You had a carousel you could ride, a train you can ride, and you can even build your own train. Now, I don't know about you, but as a kid growing up, I loved trains, and specifically Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't know if you ever seen that show, or the toys. I haven't really seen it so much anymore. Maybe it's fallen out of favor, but that was my jam as a kid. I had all the building sets, and just getting to play with those trains and build the tracks was always a lot of fun. So getting able to build your own train is probably such an enjoyable experience for kids that will be there at the Wonderland of Lights. Now, one thing that is also returning this year is the Budweiser Clydesdales. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, these are these huge, beautiful, majestic horses that are through Anheuser-Busch, and they march in Mardi Gras parades every year in New Orleans, and now they are returning to Marshall, Texas for the Wonderland of Lights. So that is really, really exciting. It is always such a shock whenever you just see how big they are in person. It is truly a sight to see, so I highly recommend going to check them out, especially since they'll be there again this year. That's going to be really, really awesome for the people that are planning on going. And if you're on the fence about it, maybe this is your convincing that I can provide for you to go check it out. But they are open most evenings, Thursday through Sunday, until January 3rd. So you have until then to check it out. I promise you, it's going to be such a blast, such a sight to see. Every single year, it's always a delight for Christmas fans and just people who want to ring in the holiday season and the new year. And be sure to stick around later today, because we will be taking you for a live special at the Wonderland of Lights here on KTAL News Now at 6 p.m. So whenever 6 p.m. rolls around, be sure to hit up our website again at ktalnews.com to tune in to our live special at the Wonderland of Lights in Marshall, Texas. We're going to be speaking with local business owners in downtown Marshall and seeing the sights and sounds from the Wonderland of Lights. It's going to be really, really exciting. Can't wait to see what they have in store this year. So be sure to tune in later today at 6 p.m. for our live special at the Wonderland of Lights in Marshall, Texas. It's going to be such a cool experience. And for those of you who want to look at other things to experience in Marshall, KTAL's Susan Curtin got to speak with local organizers to hear more about the event itself, as well as Marshall as a whole, in 6 things you should know about Marshall, Texas.
So number one on our list, we're doing a deep dive on all things Marshall. So how did, Marshall has how did Marshall get its name? The city was founded in 1841, and it was named after John Marshall, who was the longest serving Chief Justice in the United States Supreme Court.
In fact, Marshall's had several nicknames, including the culture capital of East Texas, the Gateway of Texas, the Athens of Texas, the City of Seven Flags, and Center Stage.
You know, this is so funny. I didn't know it was called all of those things. So when did you move here?
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yes.
And where did you move from?
We were in Palestine.
All right. And so not far.
Not far, just a couple hours.
What do you think is the most wonderful thing about living in Marshall?
The community, the true sense of community. Your neighbors, the neighbors welcomed us when we moved here, and it's just a wonderful community that we get to live and work in, whether it's serving on Rotary or running the venue, and then the way everybody comes together, especially during Wonderland. It's truly takes a village to put this together.
Well, and it is a little village here, so it is wonderful. And, I always say I am this close, this close to moving, because it's so cute. It's just so cute and quaint here, and it just feels like small town America, exactly the way you would imagine it should be.
It is. It has that small town feel, yet it's big enough that you have all the amenities you need. And then the larger cities are just a hop, skip, and jump away.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so number 2 on our list, the jewel in the crown of downtown Marshall is the old Harrison County Courthouse. It's located in the center of Whetstone Square. It was originally completed in 1889, then it was rebuilt in 1901 after a fire gutted the structure. The Neo-Italian Renaissance Revival Monument features a dramatic interior rotunda, a facade of locally fired buff-colored brick, and a rusticated base of pink quarry-faced granite and Roman arches.
Yes, and the central dome graces the top of the structure, accented with bronze plating, 4 clock faces, and a dozen bronze eagles. At its top rests a lantern base supporting the statue of the goddess of justice with scales. The original timepiece, an E. Howard round top number 2, featured chimes operated by 200 pounds of weights, which used to be hand cranked to the top of the tower every 8 days.
Holy cow. So they don't have to do that anymore, right?
They don't do
have
that
to
anymore.
Hand crank it.
I'm glad it was every 8 days.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to crank the weights up every day when you get to work.
You got to be a strong guy to do that. Well, it is a beautiful structure all year long, but especially this time of year when it just comes alive, right?
Yes, when they light it up and inside the renovation that they have done with, because it's still a working building, and then you have the museum spaces in there. It's truly beautiful for folks to see inside and out.
And to picnic around the grounds and walk around. It's really lovely. So number 3, when did Marshall decide to light the courthouse? So in 1987, the Marshall community was experiencing its worst local economy in its history, with unemployment skyrocketing to 20%. So George S. Smith, then he was the Marshall News Messenger editor, was crossing the square, and he imagined the historic courthouse strung with lights. He went back to the newsroom and he wrote, "Picture this, Marshall Square, every tree, every bush, the Harrison County Courthouse Museum, a giant Christmas tree, businesses around the square decorated with white lights. It could be a spectacle that would rival any other Christmas lighting scene in this area. Think about it. We could make it happen."
And a few months later, a Marshall native living in France at the time received a copy of that editorial and responded with a check enclosed for $25,000 and the simple note, "Have your wish." So over the years, the festival has grown to include an outdoor ice skating rink, vintage carousel, train, and a collection of tiny houses making up Santa's Village. Additional weekly special events are enjoyed by residents and visitors alike, though the 1901 Harrison County Courthouse, adorned in all million of lights, remains the crown jewel.
It certainly is. I mean, it's just beautiful at night, and there are carriage rides around the square.
Carriage rides and just people on the sidewalk milling about, and that story about a donor living overseas to get the funding.
Isn't that something?
That truly is what makes Marshall a wonderful place to be.
So I have a funny story. You know, our general sales manager is from Marshall. And when he heard about that, he said, that is so stupid. He said, that's a stupid, he was a kid, you know. And of course, he said, I am proud to admit I was very wrong about that.
Right.
So number 4, Marshall, Texas is now officially known as the birthplace of a vital music genre, boogie woogie. Boogie woogie originated in the late 1800s in the piney woods of East Texas, where internment piano players would entertain workers in turpentine camps. The basic rhythm is said to have been inspired by the rhythmic clacking of steam locomotives.
I know. This primarily piano-based style of music soon spread to the juke joints and vaudeville shows, and by 1938 was being widely played everywhere from small venues to Carnegie Hall. Reaching its pinnacle in the 40s, boogie woogie has influenced many musical forms, from big band and country to rock and gospel.
And of course, in the beautiful train depot here, there is the first ever Boogie Woogie Museum, which they have just founded and put up.
Recently opened, yes.
Recently opened, so, and it's home to a festival that celebrates it every year, so it's really, really cool that it all started in this area and influenced so many.
And it was such a huge musical influence, and then the way that our community has come around to preserve it and showcase it through a Boogie Woogie Festival, through the museum dedicated to Leadbelly. It's a form of music that needs to be recognized.
Absolutely, absolutely. All by itself, it's fantastic. So, number 5, back in 1926, the first student to own a car at Marshall High School was none other than First Lady Lady Bird Johnson. Born in Karnak, she paddled the dark bayous of Caddo Lake under ancient cypress trees adorned with Spanish moss.
And then she got a car.
Yes, she did.
And her love for East Texas carried her into adulthood as she devoted much of her life to preserving it. The home she grew up in is still preserved. Built in 1850 by slave labor, her family bought Andrews Taylor Plantation around the turn of the century, and it continues to be a site for history buffs to this day.
Yeah, every time I pass it, I'm reminded of the influence that she had and what a big figure she was in politics all by herself. So, yeah, that's very cool. For our final thing you should know, the historic Texas and Pacific Railway Depot is a major tourist attraction in Marshall that includes a railway museum and also houses the first and only Boogie Woogie Museum in the country, as we said.
As you said, yeah, that is true. The building is the sole remaining structure from an incredibly large railroad complex that once occupied 66 acres, and it played a role in supporting soldiers during wartime. Still in operation through Amtrak, the station's Texas Eagle line runs through the station daily, providing service to Dallas, Chicago, San Antonio, and Los Angeles.
And you know, when you go into that museum that they've got, the Railway Museum, it is really fascinating to see how large an operation it was in the city of Marshall. I mean, so many people were employed there, and its reach was expansive because it was so important in the day.
Well, because of our geography, we were the gateway to Texas when people were coming in the 1850s, coming from Kentucky, Tennessee, that area. Marshall was the first place they hit.
Have you ever taken the trip from here to Grapevine that I hear so great?
Yeah, my wife wants to.
Okay.
She wants to ride the train, and we always daydream like, let's go to Chicago or LA and take a vacation.
So you can take a little, you can absolutely take a vacation and take a couple of days to do a train trip, and that would be beautiful going up to Chicago through the Midwest. But you can also just take a little day trip,
or you
which
can
is
just
certainly
take the
fun.
day trip to Dallas, Fort Worth, and do a day of shopping. Texas Rig did that.
And you know,
he filmed it, you know, go spend the day in Dallas and come back.
He did, and we're going to show that later, in fact, on another network that we own. So we'll talk about that later. But it's really fun because people actually come from Dallas also to come here to shop and eat. And they'll get off the train, go to the Ginocchio, and have wonderful meals there.
Right, and come downtown. Washington Street is just a few blocks from the Ginocchio, so we have lots of shopping for the Dallas folks to come. And they like to come because they get to see that historic square.
Right.
And because, you know, in the DFW Metroplex, you don't have that.
You certainly don't. Yeah, you don't.
And like I said before, don't forget we are going live today at 6 p.m. on KTALnews.com to see everything Wonderland of Lights. We'll have reporters down there talking to local business owners to hear everything about what the event entails and what you can expect if you are looking to go this weekend, and you'll get a feel for what you can see, hear, shop, and everything of that nature with all the activities that are planned. So be sure to tune in again at ktalnews.com at 6 p.m., where we will go live for a live special of the Wonderland of Lights in Marshall, Texas. But that's all I have today for weekend events. Be sure to tune in, like I said, later on and every day at 1 p.m. on ktalnews.com for our daily show, KTAL News Now. And you can find previous editions of the show on our YouTube at KTAL News. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys later, and thank you for joining us.